Hi everybody. So I'm taking both of these original Innistrad sealed decks and pitting them against the Theros Face the Hydra deck. I'm going to be piloting both decks, and for both decks they will be sharing this Harvester, and the deck on the right will get the Avenger and the deck on the left will get the Hunter. Oh, wait, no, it's the other way around. And so that's what we're going to do. It's going to be on medium difficulty with 3 Hydra heads. And so let's get started. 7 cards there. This seems worth keeping, so I'll put the hand here. And this seems worth keeping as well. So, for turn 1, this deck will play a Plains, and this deck will play an Island. Okay? It is now the Hydra's turn. The Hydra will reveal their first card. Each player exiles a creature, and until the head leaves, but there's no creatures to exile, so it doesn't matter. Each player takes 3 damage from the Hydras to go to 17. And we'll go to turn 2. At the end of the turn, both players will use the Harvester. So they'll draw a card. And then they will discard a card. I think the Ghoul Razor is not that good in this deck. And in this deck, Smite the Monstrous is useless. Okay, we'll go to turn 2. We have Abbey Griffin and Shimmering Grotto. This deck will play a Plains, and that will be the end of this one. And then this deck will play a Swamp, and will also pass because there's nothing really else that it can do. Then we'll go on to the Hydra's turn. Hydra plays their first card. It is put 2 heads from the graveyard to the battlefield. There are none, so reveal the next card. Or reveal a head and put it on the battlefield. Okay? No head. There's a head. So, with those 4 heads, each player loses 4 life to go to 13. Okay, and then we're going to harvest again. Both players reveal. Moon Heron is some pretty good beats, so we'll keep that. And probably ditch the Scab Goliath, because it might be a while to turn that on, and it'll give us a chance to turn on the Stitched Drake this turn. And this one will ditch probably the Spectral Rider, because there is no second Plains to cast it. Okay, going to turn 3. We have a Diregraph Pool and an Island. This player will play the Island. This player will play the Swamp. And then this player will tap out and play the Stitched Drake, exiling the Scab Goliath. And this player will play the Voiceless Spirit. The idea that it will bump it shortly. Okay, that is the end of players' turns. It is now Hydra's next turn. Heads are indestructible. Both players take 4 to go to 9. 9. And 9. And then we will harvest again at the end of the turn. So we'll draw these cards. Definitely keeping that plains. Definitely keeping the swamp. We're going to ditch the Shimmering Grotto because the swamp obviates the need for it. In this case, the least useful card of this bunch is probably the uncastable Gallows Warden, which doesn't really give a power boost, and that's what these creatures need here. Okay, we'll go into turns. And we'll draw a card each. Each one gets a swamp. This player doesn't need a swamp yet, so they'll play plains. This player needs the other plains, so they'll play the plains. I think we're going to go to attack now. And this player will use the Hunter to give this 3 power. They'll both attack, killing 2 Hydra heads and netting them 4 life each. Go back up to 13. And then we will look to see if in the next 4 reveals any Hydras appear. 1, 2, 3, 4. No Hydras. No new Hydras. Okay. We'll go to second main phase. Second main phase. This player will tap out. Play Moon Huron. This player will tap out, or won't tap, will tap out and play both the Elder Cathar as well as the Diregraph Ghoul. There we go. It is now Hydra's turn. Hydra will play the top card. It is a Snapping Fang Hydra head, and so we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage each, taking this one to 8, and this one also to 8. Okay, let's go ahead and harvest at the end of the turn. We have a Vampire Interloper and a Selfless Cathar. Black being just a splash and there being plenty of mana, we'll drop the swamp, and with this one, the Abbey Griffin is probably the least useful of the bunch because there's no blocking, so Vigilance doesn't matter as much. And the Vampire Interloper does as much damage as needed. Okay, we'll go into turns. Okay, drawing. Chapelgeist and Claustrophobia, which is not terribly useful against these Hydra heads. So in the turn, we need to get rid of the big guy. And I think that can be done with we're going to play the swamp first. We'll play this swamp. And then this one will play the Murder of Crows, which will get it additional card filtering. So these two, plus, say, the Elder Cathar, should be able to take out one of these guys, or the big guy. And then Voiceless Spirit plus the Hunter will take out the other one. We'll take out one of the smaller guys. There's not enough means for them to destroy another creature, so that will be the end of that. So we'll destroy both of those. Yep. Both of these creatures are gone. Both players get 6 life each and draw a card. It's 14. Each draws a card. Dissipate, and another Thraben Sentry. Because there's 5 mana, I think this player will go ahead and tap out and play both the Interloper and the Chapelgeist, just to increase board presence. This player will probably go ahead and use the Murder Okro's ability to draw and discard. We'll draw and discard that island. Okay, it is Hydra's. We'll see if we reveal any new heads in the next 4 cards. There it is, 1 Hydra head. And then we'll go to Hydra's turn. Tap 2 heads, they don't untap, and each player takes 5. Okay. Down to 9. And 9. And then no damage to the tapped Hydra heads. We're going to loot again. I don't think either team needs lands right now. Rather have plays. So ditch lands. Go back to the game. And each player will draw Mausoleum Guard and Abyssinian Priest. Okay. Play the other island. And then we have 2 heads. We only need to attack with 2 creatures. We'll put something more expendable on the attack in this case. Like the Moon Heron and the Vampire Interloper pumped with the Hunter to destroy the last 2 heads. So, these die. Each player gets 4 life to go to 13. And then we see if any new heads appear in the next 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there are 2 Hydra heads to replace it. And then we'll see what our turns are. This player will go ahead and play their 2 creatures. I mean, they're not great, but then we'll leave up mana for Dissipate. This player will go ahead and play the Thraben Sentry. Might as well. The boards are pretty good right now, so it looks like these 2 players are going to win. We'll go to the Hydra's turn. Hydra reveals a card. It is tap up to 2 heads. We're doing this again. So each player loses 5 life. And from 13 to 8. And then we're going to loot again. Chapelgeist, Salhoff, Occultist. These are probably not all that good. Claustrophobia is worse for this one. Chapelgeist is not as good as the Mausoleum Guard or the Sentry. So there's that. We'll go into turn. Land, Grimgrin. Alright. This player will play this land. Let's see. This player probably play Grimgrin. But there's no reason to play anything first because nothing's going to die on this side. So we'll go ahead and just send in the 1 Interloper and the Moon Heron to finish these 2 Hydra heads off. And then this one gains 4 life, 12. This one gains 4 life to go to 12. And then we see if any new Hydra heads appear in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 1 Ravenous Brute head. Okay. We're playing Grimgrin on this side, just to make this board state insane. Okay, Grimgrin comes in tapped. This side, we'll play another Thraben Sentry. And then we'll pass to the Hydra. The Hydra plays no new spells. This does 2 damage to each player, taking them to 10. The team will harvest again. Gavany Township's great. Island is probably no better or worse than the Selhoff. We'll keep the Selhoff as something to sacrifice to Grimgrin. And then we will go into this turn. Again, this should be a very quick attack. Oops, we saw what's next. We have that, we have the Hauberk. Let's see. The Cultist is probably not a bad play when you think about it, because when the head dies, we can mill some more to get deeper in. So we'll play the Occultist here. We'll sacrifice the Cathar to untap Grimgrin. And then a creature dies, so we're going to mill 2. Or the top card. And then this one, we'll play the Gavany Township. Don't have the mana to activate it yet, but that's fine. There's no real reason to attack with everybody. We'll just attack with the same 2 again, pumping the Interloper to finish off the Brute Head. Getting this one 2 life to go to 12. This one gets 2 life to go to 12. Both draw a card. Another land. Ludwig's Test Subject, which will be fun to play. Let's see if there are any new Hydras. No, and no. Alright, so the Innistrad team beats the Hydra, and we will move on to the next battle.